Media Production presents Gypsy Soul, your one-stop shop for letting out your inner gypsy. Join Denise Marsh as she brings on a variety of guests to share their artistic vision with the world.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Gypsy Soul. It's good to see you. I'm renaming today Thriving Thursday because I believe that in life you have to do more than just live. You have to actually thrive and do things that you're passionate about. So today we're going to talk about passion for writing, passion for the arts, passion for music and dancing. And we have a very, very special guest today, and his name is Steve Traynor. He is a pizza architect, he likes to be called, and he's also the chair for Project Lighthouse. We will be talking about that more in a few minutes. I'm very excited about this guest, and I think you will too. I hope everyone's ready for the exciting guest. So, ready?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to, okay. So, Steve, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
It's good to see you.
Well, thank you for
I have
having
to
me.
say I know Steve a little bit. Okay. So Steve, you have quite an extensive resume. Can you tell us a little bit about your passion for pizza first?
Well, I've always been a bit of a foodie. I think it started when I was 14. I started cooking not cooking, but washing dishes in a restaurant, which led up to learning prep and some techniques. And then I had the privilege of getting a travel job. So I was able to take the food knowledge and travel and get to see all kinds of different food culture. So that's where it started.
Did you bring us any pizza today?
No, unfortunately not. The
Not
dough is
even in
still-
your car?
No, the dough's still resting.
Oh.
Perfection takes time.
So hungry for pizza. Next time, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So where did you learn how to cook? Because you're really an amazing pizza architect, chef.
Again, my family, we've always been pretty decent cooks, but it was the restaurant experience that allowed me to learn some good technique. And then from there, the imagination took over.
Do you have your own restaurant?
It's a pop-up. It's called Cadenza Pizza. It's something that started in collaboration with Village Music on Monday nights. And
Great venue, by the way.
Yes. And what we started with is riffing on a music theme. And so every pizza is named after an artist or a song.
Give us an example.
Well, the number one seller we have is called Stairway to Heaven, and it was actually named by the owner of Village Music, Steve Willie. He said it was his favorite song, and it also happens to be his favorite pizza.
Does such a good job
Yeah.
singing that song. Amazing job singing that song. Okay, well, like I said, next time you have to bring pizza for everyone
Absolutely.
here too. So, as a lover of the arts, I'm very excited about this project that you're a founder for, and it's called Project Lighthouse. And I don't think everyone knows about it because it's very big in Wellington, but I think everyone deserves to know about it because it has to do with promoting the arts, and everyone loves the arts, right?
Absolutely. It's become a bit of a passion for a group of people in Wellington. We've tried for a number of times to get a performing arts facility built in the village of Wellington, but there was always something that prevented it. And we saw a village workshop in October, November of last year, where they had the same discussion regarding that same plot of land. And I got together with my co-chair, Bob Ryers, and I said, what can we do? Can we actually pull this off? Because Wellington does support the arts. We have a large portion of the box office revenue for the Kravitz comes from Wellington. So it made perfect sense. Why not have a performing arts facility in Wellington? So that's where the idea was born, and it just took off from there.
And you've really rounded people together to do this. Like, you have a following.
Well,
You're like a messiah.
well, I don't know about that, but one of the things that we did notice is that people are passionate about the arts, and people are passionate about the future of Wellington, and this kind of combines the two. So it's a great opportunity.
I know that when I want to see a show, I have to go far. A lot of times to see it, I have to go to Boca or, I have to go to Kravitz. But it would be really nice to have it in my own backyard.
Oh, absolutely.
So I could just get there and not have to worry about parking and things like that.
Absolutely, but there's also the secondary impacts and benefits where we generate revenue for the local economy. According to a study done by is Center for the Arts. I can't remember the name of the exact group, but they found that every ticket sale generates about $30 of local revenue, not including the price of the ticket in the local economy. So it's good for economy, not just for theater.
I didn't realize that, you know. But there's a lot of people involved with Project Lighthouse. We have our favorite, we have a mutual friend, right? Rollin.
Yep.
I don't remember her last name.
Rollin McGrail.
Right,
yes.
who's a famous, amazing artist who did a lot of the vintage art for Project Lighthouse, right?
Yes.
Promoting it.
Yep.
So we'll have to show some of that next time. But is Project Lighthouse only for Wellington residents, or can other people get involved that are not in Wellington?
No, not at all. In fact, the name Project Lighthouse was coined by accident, I guess, during the village council meeting where one of the councilmen mentioned Wellington has always been viewed as a lighthouse for the Western communities. So our target audience is the Western communities, and we thought lighthouses as a beacon would be a great way to coalesce people and get them motivated.
Yeah, a guiding light, right?
Exactly.
In a storm. I've always liked lighthouses. So, can you show us some of the plan that's going to come into fruition for Project Lighthouse, for this cultural center that you'll be building?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you
Well, not you, but you won't be building it yourself.
No. We are a group of volunteers, and what we've been very, very lucky to get is a developer, an architectural firm, a performance arts center operator, and a number of people that have decided to help us and to guide us. So we're not actually doing any of that. We're just building the popular support for the facility, but it's all being managed and developed by professionals.
And the support that's coming through, it's not just coming through from Wellington, it's coming through the surrounding areas as well?
Oh, absolutely.
How many
Absolutely.
people would you say are following?
Well, we have about 930 followers on our Facebook group. But I think what's really important is that we have the recognition of, things like the developer. They see the vision, and they decided not only are they interested in building this, but they're investing their own money in the success of the project. So I think that speaks a lot for how real this opportunity is.
Is there a timeline involved? Like, how long do you think it'll take?
By the time we're done, once we're done with all the permitting, I think construction is estimated to be about 36 months.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No,
I was
no.
thinking a couple of years.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And how will you promote it? What will be some ways that you'll promote it?
Well, obviously, content is everything. The organizer that operates these facilities also operates about 6 other performing arts facilities around the country. We're going to defer to them as to how to best promote this, because he's going to bring the content that people want to see. But we absolutely want to see local talent as well.
Yes.
One of the big advocates for Project Lighthouse is a local organization called TAP.
I just saw the show.
Yep.
J.C. Cohn's show from TAP, School of Rock. I just did a review.
Yep, exactly.
It was amazing. Amazing.
We'd love to see them perform
Yes.
as well at the Performing Arts facility.
That would be a great venue for them. It would be a great venue for Fred Astaire, too, to do
Oh,
their
absolutely.
performances in Wellington.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Wellington High School puts on a masterwork once a year, and it's absolutely stunning what they do. Where the students practice all year. I'd love to see that happen in a professional theater.
When I talk about theater, I get excited because I love anything with theater and art. So what are some challenges that you've encountered while doing this project?
Well, one, understanding how our democracy works. It's not the easiest process to go through. It's the best one that we have. But working with the village council has been tremendous. They've really helped us, given us a lot of ideas as to, okay, this is what the council's concerned about. So we had to basically go back and rework our proposal. Obviously, change in Wellington is something that gets a lot of people emotional. Sometimes, you have to balance the perception that we're, taking more from Wellington or taking away open spaces and things like that. So those are some of the challenges. But I think if you look at the overall project, where you've got workforce housing that's been, teachers, firefighters, first responders are all part of that residential component, plus local business, the impacts of the local economy. It's a it's a compelling project. It's a
So
compelling
it
value.
really does take a village, no pun intended with
Absolutely.
village music, but you have all these people
Mm-hmm.
backing you up financially, emotionally, just people coming together as a community to create this exciting project. I know I'm very excited about it. I'm only 12 minutes from Wellington,
Yeah.
and I can't wait.
No, it's been a passion. We've been doing this for almost a year. I think October of this year will been actually a 1-year anniversary of starting this, and it's been a great journey.
You have a lot to be proud of.
Well, I have a great group of people that have really
But you're
helped
the
me.
leader, aren't you? Would
Yes.
you consider yourself the leader?
Yes, perhaps, or organizer, but you're only as good as the team you have around you. So if I look good, that means I've got a great team.
That's a wonderful way to look at things. It's very humble.
Yeah.
Not a lot of humble people in the world lately. Can you show us a little bit about the project that we're talking about?
Yes,
about Project
absolutely.
Lighthouse?
On the left is an aerial view where it looks. You can see on the left there's the residential component. Obviously, this
I
is
don't know
a.
if they can see.
This is a.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
You know, it's a rendering. It's not necessarily what the final project is going to look like, but it just kind of shows you the layout from an aerial view. In the middle, we've got a pedestrian view that shows the theater, looking at it from on the edge of the lake, and then below that is an aerial view, so you can kind of see a little bit where the theater is on the left, and then we have the pedestrian view here on the far right. So we think it's not only going to be visually pleasing, but it's going to really revitalize that part of Wellington, because the Wellington Green Mall, there's obviously it's been a decline
Yes,
for a number of
unfortunately.
years.
One of my favorite places.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of discussion about what's going to happen there, and we think Project Lighthouse is a fantastic way to get started.
It's a great way to bring in revenue into the community and to bring jobs.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, there's so many people still looking for jobs. Just imagine how many jobs you'll be able to create.
Absolutely, and the idea of the workforce housing is, if you work at one of the restaurants in Wellington, or you're a police officer in Wellington, or firefighter, you're a nurse, you can live in Wellington too. That's been a challenge over the last few years.
What do you mean? Can you explain that?
Well, the
more?
price of real estate has made it difficult for families that are just starting out
Yeah, Wellington's
to
very
live in
expensive,
Wellington.
yes.
And it's a great community. I've lived here since 2003, and I love it. And it was a great place for my children to grow up. I think we should do whatever we can to have other people enjoy that experience as well.
I agree. And bring in all different kinds of people. Why not
Absolutely.
create some more diversity? I mean, my son grew up in Wellington, Daniel, and I was there for a while. I moved to Green Acres, but I always consider Wellington my home,
Yeah.
aside from New York. I there all the time, so what has been the greatest challenge, though, like in putting this together? Like, has it been the challenge? Has it been in a political realm? Has it been with getting funding, or what if?
I have to be honest with you, I think the biggest challenge is balancing time between my regular job, Project Lighthouse, and the pizzeria, because they're all passionate.
Passion projects, right?
Exactly. To be honest with you, we've been blessed with the developer. They sought us out. They saw an article in the Wellington Town Crier, and they came to us and they said, "Hey, we'd like to help you." The village council has been really. They've met with us in the very beginning. Obviously, during the process we're in now, we can't meet with them. But in the very beginning, they looked at it and they gave us their feedback, and they were very candid. So I honestly say, from a challenge perspective, we haven't had anything that seemed insurmountable. It's been really a blessed project in that sense.
It's been exciting to be part of it. I mean, I started to come to meetings at the beginning, and then it was just too hard to juggle it with my schedule. But I remember telling Daniel that, I'm part of this. And I think everyone that's done even one thing, whether giving out flyers or sharing on Facebook, it feels like they're part of it. So when it comes to fruition, when it comes together, it's like we can all pat ourselves on the back a little
Oh,
bit.
absolutely.
I mean, not grand kudos, but just like, we're joining together. It's a big community thing, and not just the Wellington community. I think other
Absolutely.
people, a lot of people are getting involved.
I think one of the things we've talked about since the very beginning is the inside-out approach. Unlike a lot of other development that happens, this is the Village of Wellington letting Village Council know this is what we would like to see. So it's been a tremendous change in how the development is going in this particular project. It's
I think the
community-driven.
passion will drive it,
Absolutely.
and the people's passion for it will. And then once you have it ready, it's going to be exciting promoting it.
Oh,
What will
absolutely.
you do when all that's over?
Well,
Will you make pizza?
Well, the pizzas, yes, yes. I've had people tell me that the pizza restaurant is my midlife crisis, but I look at it as maybe a
Good
path to
midlife
retirement.
crisis.
Yes.
Yeah, good one.
But I see myself as taking a secondary position because I believe leadership is great when it's fresh. And we've gotten to this point, and I know that there's a lot of really great people in Project Lighthouse that can lead us to the next phase. We need people that are good with raising funds, endowments. Project Lighthouse will likely become a advisory committee for the operator to let them know, okay, hey, we're going to go out and raise some money to help fund some of these productions.
Will you do something like, you know how on TV, like they have these big concerts, and then, you know, it's a call in your money.
Oh.
I mean, call in an amount of money, and, you know, offer a T-shirt or something. Will you do like any promos?
Oh, I don't know about a telethon or anything like that. I'll leave
I
that
have that
up-
in my
yeah.
head.
We have there's such a diverse group of people that come from the performing arts industry that are part of Project Lighthouse,
Yeah.
that I think they're the ones that can lead us into that next phase, which, you know, again, I will always support. But I think it's time, you know, once the initial project is well on its way, I think fresh leadership is good for the organization.
And the scheduling will be important too.
Yes.
Scheduling of the events.
Yes.
So just creating jobs in my head is like a big thing now. And not just creating jobs, like people go to their job every day and they don't thrive, like I said. I mean, you know, they will thrive because they'll be passionate about it. And when you're passionate about
yeah.
something, it's not like working. It's just,
Oh, absolutely.
you're just
Absolutely.
living and having fun and enjoying your life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to take a commercial break right now. And hang tight. We'll see you soon.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
And we're back. So I have some more questions for you, Steve. One of them is, we know what Project Lighthouse is, but who is it benefiting exactly? What kind of people is it benefiting? How are they relating to it? Could you elaborate more on that? Who
Yes.
This helps?
When we first started, we had the task of funding the building of the Performing Arts Center and making it perpetual, because one of the two things that the Village Council was very adamant was that this can't fall back onto the community as a taxpayer burden. So when the developer came along, they said, I think we can help you, because if we add the residential component, now we have a way not only to fund the construction, but we can also fund how to keep it running. So that was a very key development. And one of the people that was involved, well, not was, but is involved with the developer, his name is Ignacio Figueras.
Good pronunciation.
He's probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous polo player in the world. Wanted to include workforce housing to enable people
I remember hearing about that.
who, you know, if you're just starting out, Wellington can be an expensive place to live. This bridges that gap. So 30% of the units that are there are dedicated to essentially, families just starting out. And that's an underserved market in Wellington.
Yes, because a lot of people portray Wellington as a little bit snobby and upper crusty, but they're very caring people there.
Absolutely.
And you're obviously one of them. So this would create a market for a lot of people and a lot of opportunities. Not just
Absolutely.
people with money.
And again, it's a place for everyone. It's because arts is for everyone. And the way this is designed, it's not designed as a gated community with exclusive amenities for just a small group of people. It's designed for everyone in Wellington to enjoy.
And talking about the plans, how it would look, I know sometimes you put posts on Facebook about, what people want to see on there. And one of the things she talked about was a rooftop restaurant, I think.
Oh, yes.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
So
That was, we thought the idea of being able to dine at a nice dining experience overlooking the lake prior to the performance, it would just be an amazing experience to have and a big draw. We want to make Wellington a destination.
yes.
And I remember when my children were involved in Spotlight on Young Musicians and they were performing at the Kravitz. I was a very, very proud dad. And we made a big deal out of the entire day. We went to, made reservations at Ruth's Chris, and my parents came down. And so it was a nice big family outing, and we made it very special. We'd like to do the same thing here with Project Lighthouse, where you can watch a beautiful production, have a nice meal, make it a memorable family moment.
And keep it going, right?
Exactly, but you don't have to drive an hour and a half to do it.
Yeah. And that'll, of course, ease up on traffic. And,
Yes.
it'll be a whole domino effect on how that works out. And maybe they'll even, have special, like, buses that take people in, like they do at Wellington Mall, and, make it easier and less
Yeah.
traffic and, less commotion.
We're going to make sure that this is very additive to the community. We don't want to increase the burden onto the taxpayer, which is, I think, the unique feature of our offer for this particular land is we can keep this going forever, and it doesn't cost the village a dime.
It's a wonderful project, I mean, on all levels. But my question is, sometimes when you want to see a show, everything's so expensive. You look at the seats and they're like $200, $250. How will that work with this project? How will you or who will come up with the pricing for the show so that the common person
Right.
could afford to see a show?
Well, that was done by one of the people that helped us out. It's a gentleman that's what he does for a living, called web management. And what he did is he came up with a pro forma based upon the particular market that we're in. We're called a secondary market. Kravitz is obviously a primary market. And so our prices are going to reflect a secondary market, not necessarily the expensive prices that you would find like being on Broadway, for example. So we believe it'll be much more accessible to
That's
the
wonderful.
average patron. Absolutely.
You'll also increase tourism too, as well. Like there'll be more
Oh,
people coming in
absolutely.
and wanting to see that. Wellington will, become famous on the map again in a good way.
Yes.
And it'll have,
Yep.
not just prestige behind it, but it'll have a name that is common ground with everyone.
Absolutely.
I think that's important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, the arts is for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's also a great place, the sculpture garden around. Local artists can showcase their moving, changing exhibits.
Poetry readings.
Poetry readings, absolutely.
Got to get that in there.
Yes.
So, what is something that you hope will come out of that? I mean, theater-wise, like, what is something that you really want to see there? Something you want to see
You mean a
performed,
particular
or-
performance?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Something that you love, that you really want to see them either do a rendition of it or some type of performance that you love, like whether it's in dance or music. Or
I'd love to see the Nutcracker Suite. That was.
still have not
yeah.
seen that.
That-
And I dance, and I haven't seen that.
I saw that at the Kravitz with the Moscow Ballet, and it was absolutely wonderful. I'd
You
love to
never
see
hear
it.
a man saying that they'll sit through the
Yeah.
Nutcracker.
Well,
You're a gem.
Again, it was
Never.
it was a nice family event. And it was wonderful, perfectly timed for
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
See, everyone, you could be a man and still go to the Nutcracker and like
Yes,
it. I
yes.
love that. That's very inspiring. Well, I can't wait. I'm excited about it, and I think I'll be able to enjoy theater more with it being more affordable and then bring other people into it as well.
Absolutely,
So-
absolutely.
Do you think that you'll be able to incorporate your pizza business
Oh.
with this? Is there
Well,
a pizza place coming?
Yeah, the restaurants and everything are going to be decided by somebody else. I think it might be presumptuous for me to open up a brick and mortar at the Performing Arts Center, but
I think it would work.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would work.
I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, you never say never. You know, you never know. It could happen. So, are there any last things that you would like to talk about with the audience that you would like to bring their attention to, like how they could get involved with Project Lighthouse if they were interested?
Absolutely. We have a Facebook page, which is where we primarily communicate with our group. It's called Project Lighthouse Community Vision. And you can just type that in and you'll find it on Facebook. We'd love to hear from anybody if you've got performing arts experience, just some great ideas. They all work and they're all essential for the development of this project. So your voice makes a difference, and we take it to the Village Council. That's, I think, been one of the greatest assets we have is the group of people. So,
and you don't have to be a resident of Wellington. I think people need to understand that, because
not at all. We look forward to serving all of the Western communities because we are the lighthouse for the Western communities.
Now, can other people, Steve, that are interested, can they come to the meetings? Where are the meetings being held for Project Lighthouse?
We normally would have the meetings at Village Music on Saturdays, but because we've already submitted the proposal, and we are in what's called a cone of silence, we're not hosting any meetings at this point.
Okay.
But we still absolutely have to keep discussing the project, getting great ideas, because once, assuming of course the Village Council moves forward with our particular offer, at some point all of this wonderful experience that we have in our group we can bring to bear.
I can't wait. It's going to be really exciting. What are your future plans after this project once it comes into fruition? 1 minute left. Wow, I have so many questions. We'll have to have another show. So I wanted to thank you so much, Steve, for coming, for talking about pizza and Project Lighthouse, and I think you'll have a lot more followers. And you might have people asking you for pizza as well.
I hope so.
Yes, I think you will. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's been a great Thursday. Okay. Do you have more information that you can give us on how to contact you? Can you repeat that?
Yes, Project Lighthouse Community Vision on Facebook. Just type it in, and you'll find us. And we'd love to hear from you.
And for pizza?
For pizza, Monday nights, Village Music is my current
Trivia night?
Yeah, it's trivia night. It's a lot of fun. Fill your belly and fill your brain.
And get prizes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Have a good Thursday, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to Gypsy Soul. Make sure to stop by next time for another enlightening show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by Denise Marsh.